Hello and welcome to this grounding class of both Yin and Yang Yoga. It's my absolute pleasure to guide you. To start, please organize your space so that you've got a yoga mat and you may need a couple of blocks. If you don't have blocks, that's fine, but it might be useful to grab a chair if you don't have blocks or if you're feeling really tight in the back of your legs today. So there's no rush, but just when you're ready, getting those bits and bobs together and come and lay down on your back. So just take that time, make sure that you've got what you need around you. You might even need a layer for your body nearby. And when you're ready, laying down on your back, you can have your feet to the floor or you can have your legs extended. If you like, you could bring your hands onto the belly or one hand belly and one hand to the chest. And just relax the body here and notice how you're feeling today. Notice any parts of the body that are feeling good. Or you might notice parts of the body that are feeling a little sore and they may need a little attention from you in the practice today. So just notice whatever that is for you. Encourage the body to relax. If you like, you might choose now to take a breath in with me and then open the mouth when you're ready and sigh the breath out. Ah. And two more like that if that feels okay for you. As you inhale, feel the whole belly, ribs and the chest. And then open the mouth and let it out with a sigh. Ah, and relax as you sigh. One more round like that. Ah. And as you sigh that breath out, notice how the body releases its tension. You can return to the natural breath now, but notice with every breath out, you can release a little bit more tension from the body. As you breathe the air out, the tension also releases down and out. And soon you feel your body heavy, soft, and relaxed. And the more you relax here, the more that you can be supported by the earth. And so notice that, the support beneath you. On the ground, the body grounded, energy grounded, mind relaxed. Gently bring the knees in now toward the chest and give yourself a little hug. Bringing the knees in, taking the hands onto either the shins or on the knees. And if you like, you can bring the head up toward the knees and form a tight little ball. You don't have to, you can leave the head down if you prefer. Bring the head down if it's not already, and if you like to, you could sway from side to side. So you'll notice in the practice, I'll be offering you lots of options and inviting you to try different things. If something doesn't feel right to you, know that you don't have to do everything. I would much prefer that you're listening to the body, and if there's something that feels not right for you, please change it or skip it. If you want, you can be taking circles in that one direction and then go in the other direction when you're ready. You might even like to try the circles without the hands, so removing the hands away from the knees or the shins. And notice what switches on for you. How does the sensation change as you do that? Okay, coming back to center now. And the arms down beside your body with the palms facing down, but the knees still in, drawing toward the chest. So just nice and slowly, when you inhale, raise the arms, take them up and back behind you. Nice and slowly though with the breath. And then when you exhale, Return the arms down beside the body. Next time as you inhale, raise the arms and also lift the heels, soles of the feet up toward the ceiling. Lengthen the legs. And when you exhale, bring the arms down and also bring the knees in, the heels toward the buttocks. And keep going like that. As you inhale, lengthening the legs, taking the arms up overhead, and slow it down if you feel like it's a little fast. When you exhale at your pace, bringing the knees in and the heels down, arms down. And just another full round like this, moving at your pace with the breath, synchronizing the breath and the movement together. Okay, keep the arms down beside the body, lift the legs up toward the ceiling, the heels lifting up, the soles of the feet reaching toward the sky. And you can look to the feet, toes drawing back towards your face. You might have your knees bent here if you're feeling tight in the hamstrings. So adjust that if you need to. Drawing the navel in so that you feel that flatness in the lower back pressing down onto the floor. And then begin to lift the toes up toward the ceiling, pointing the toes. And then flex, draw them back toward your face. And keep going like that with the breath. As you inhale, point the toes. And exhale, draw them back towards you. And another round. And then as you point the toes next time, stay there. And then begin to initiate circles in the feet so that you circle at the ankles. You'll need to separate the legs probably. And it doesn't matter if they're moving at the same time, just aiming to create some circles and movement in the feet, looking at the feet and changing the directions. Remember, you can bend the knees as much as you need to. Feel the cracks and the creaks, maybe a little warming in the feet. And then bring the feet back to center. Knees in toward the chest now and give them another hug. If you didn't before, you might like to now bring the head in toward the knees. Form that tiny little ball, like a seed in the ground. And then release the head down as you exhale and bring the arms out to the sides. Bend the elbows so that you can create a cactus shape in the arms. And press the elbows, the back of the hands to the floor. The palms are facing up toward the ceiling and the knees are drawing in. You inhale now at center. And then as you exhale, gently take both knees, ankles out to the right side, just a little bit, not too far. Then when you inhale, bring them back to the center. When you exhale over toward the left side, we're not going all the way, just hover as far as feels comfortable. When you inhale, come back to center. So just another 2 like that. There's not a lot of movement here. Keep the knees and the ankles together if you can, and press the back of the hands down. And just keep moving here. This can be very gentle or halfway out to the side. And so we started on the right, and once you finish now on toward the left, just coming back to center. Okay, arms down beside the body. You can take them underneath the thighs. If you had a sore neck or a spinal injury, I recommend rolling out to the side now and then come and sit up. Otherwise, a rock for your spine, hands underneath the thighs. As you inhale, take the feet overhead, lift the buttocks, and then exhale, come on to the buttocks. You might do that now a couple of times or stay upright. Rocking and rolling on the spine can be good, but if you had that injury in the disc or a sore neck, I would discourage this. If it feels good, you might like to smile, feel the warming into the spine. One more round. And then cross the feet, come over the feet and onto hands and knees. Nice and slowly, there's no rush at all. So really mindfully place the wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees placed underneath the hips. Spread the fingers wide. If you had sore knees, you could bring a blanket underneath the knees. And press the tops of the feet down as you press the hands down now. Lift the chest up and away from the floor. And you should feel as if now you're quite strong in the back. You could take weight on the back like a tabletop. We'll begin to soften now as we inhale. Lift your tailbone up toward the sky and draw the chest forward. Might be gentle for a sore back. And then as you exhale, draw the navel in, tuck the tailbone under and the chin toward the chest. Round the shoulder blades up. And keep moving like this as you inhale, lifting the tail up and drawing the chest forward. And then when you exhale, really navel draws in toward the spine as the shoulder blades lift up and the tail tucks under. And moving with your breath now. So your inhale is looking forward and the exhale is looking into toward the belly. This is Bidalasana, cat-cow pose. Working with the spine and the pelvis and the chest and belly. One more round. When you exhale, complete the round. Come back to neutral. Bring the big toes to touch. Separate the knees. Walk the hands back and sit the buttocks onto the heels. As you inhale, lift the chest. And then when you exhale, fold forward and take the hands out and the forehead down. If you had tight hips, you could bring hands to stack and the forehead on the stack. Just take care if you've got a sore knee, you might pop a blanket in between the calf and the thigh. And holding here and allowing a stretch in the lower back. And with each exhale now, encourage the sit bones down toward the floor. And feel that stretch deepen into the lower back. Our breath out is such a great way to anchor into a present moment relaxed. So with every exhale here, can you feel the sensation change a little? Softening, deepening, and grounding down. The stretch in the inner thigh. Listening now to the heart beating. You may feel it in the pulsing of life. And bring the hands onto the floor if they're not already and lift yourself up on the inhale. Turn the toes under, knees under the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers wide. So toes turned under this time. But same again, as you inhale, lift the tail, draw the chest forward. Then when you exhale, come back to neutral position and then lift the knees up off the mats and the sit bones high. And we'll keep moving here as we inhale, bring the knees down onto the floor, lift the tail, draw the chest forward. Then when you exhale with your toes tucked under, return to neutral and then the knees up and the sit bones back. And another 2 rounds like this. Nice and slowly, softly land the knees on the inhale. Lift the tail, draw the chest forward. When you exhale, your pace now, neutral and then to down face dog. One more full round. So if you're starting that, really commit to this full round. Dynamic entry into a down face dog. And we'll hold the down face dog this time. So spreading the fingers wide, really plant the index finger, the thumb, and the pinky finger down. Bend the knees generously, feel the belly toward the thighs, relax the neck. And then begin to pedal the heels out, lifting and alternating, drawing down. Nice and slowly, mindfully, you might even be looking toward the feet or have the eyes closed to bring awareness within. Okay, coming to some stillness now in your down face dog. A gentle bend in the knee if you needed to for tight hamstrings. Lifting the sit bones, relaxing the neck, chin in toward the throat. Keep breathing here and feel the length in the spine with the inhale. And your exhale, navel drawing in. Okay, begin to walk the hands toward the feet just a little. And take the feet wide now. So it's like a halfway dog with wide feet. pick up the right hand and thread it under the body. Take a hold of the left ankle and begin to guide the chest through to the side. A gentle twist here, grounding the heels toward the floor. You can bend the knees if you need to. Relax the neck, looking either to the floor or out toward that left underarm. And then right hand to the floor, and then thread the left arm under, swapping sides. Holding on to the right ankle, guiding the chest through to that right side. Keeping the heels drawing down. And remember, bend the knees as much as you need to. Okay, we'll begin to release now. Left hand to the floor. Walk the hands all the way back. Bend the knees generously and sit down. So in a squat, if you had tight hips, you might sit on a block here and have the feet out in front. Otherwise, feet onto the floor, heels drawing down. Doesn't matter if they're lifted up, just drawing down. And the elbows into the inner thigh, hands in toward the heart space now. You might like to rock from side to side here, taking weight into the alternate feet, just to get a little stretch and awareness of sensation into the hips. Notice how the sensation changes for you as you move from side to side. You might come onto the outside edge of one foot and then the other as you're moving, just very gently. And holding now at center, bring the right hand down to the floor. And inhale, raise the left arm. Look out to the left if that's okay for your neck. And breathe here as you reach that left fingers up toward the ceiling. You can hold that right hand onto the outside edge of the mat if you needed to. And then exhale, bring the left hand down. And when you inhale, reach the right arm up and hold the left hand down out to that left side. Remember, you can look down or looking up if the neck's okay, and you can skip this if it doesn't feel right for you. And bring the right hand down now. Hands onto the floor. Weight onto the toes as you lift the legs now and lengthen the legs. Heel toe the feet in toward each other and bend the knees. And relax the torso. Come into a half lift now. Fingers onto the floor and inhale. Lift yourself halfway up. When you exhale, bend the knees and forward fold. And find now that deeper fold in the hips. Relax the neck. Yes, no nod of the head. Any tension that you're feeling in the head, let that go. Let that release down toward the earth. In the face, in the shoulders. And begin to walk the hands now toward the top of the mat, walking forward. And so that you can bring the hands beyond shoulder distance and knees down onto the floor. Spread the fingers wide again, lean forward so the shoulders and the wrists are aligned. Relax the ears the shoulders away from the ears. Breathe here as you press the hands down, lift the chest up. As you exhale now, take the buttocks back toward the heels. And then inhale, really slowly guide your body forward, rounding the spine. And then exhale, tuck the elbows in, come halfway down to a little push-up. Inhale, lift yourself up. And then exhale, take the buttocks back toward the heels again. One more round. Inhale, really slowly ripple yourself forward. Then when you exhale, tuck the elbows in halfway down only, and then all the way down to the floor. Take the feet back and the forehead down onto the floor, belly down. Hands underneath the shoulders. Squeeze the inner thigh in toward each other now, ankles together. Inhale, lift the chest and the legs up off the mat. No weight to the hands here, and it doesn't need to be a big lift. Keep breathing. Press the pubic bone down, tuck the elbows in, and feel the opening in the front of the shoulders. The navel draws away from the mat as you press the pubic bone down. And exhale, release the chest now. And bring one cheek to the mat and arms long beside the body. And rest. Notice how your heart's feeling into the floor as you breathe. And encourage the breath down into the belly now. Breathe to the belly. And the belly breathing is really helpful for cooling and calming, de-stressing, relaxing. Again, feel the body relax into the floor and the floor support you. And hands underneath the shoulders, forehead to the floor. Inhale, lift yourself onto hands and knees, turn the toes under, and then lift up to down face dog again. Holding here for a moment. Again, if you like, bend the knees, press the hands, lift the hips, lengthen the legs if it felt right for you. And then walk the hands and the feet toward each other in the center of the mat. In a forward fold, relax the neck again. Bend the knees generously. Sit toward a chair and press the heels down. So the sit bones come down, tuck the tailbone under, and inhale, reach the arms out and up. Then as you exhale, sit down into that chair. Keep pressing the heels down. The tailbone tucks under slightly to avoid the bend in the lower back. You can have the hands in toward the heart, gently touching if you prefer. Otherwise, reaching the hands forward. Chin in, navel in. Feel that squeeze in the whole waist, like you're wearing a corset. I am grounded. Say this to yourself. I am grounded. Safe, secure, firing up. And then hands to the heart and inhale, raise your body and bring the thumbs in toward the chest. And just notice how you're feeling. The heart beating, the blood flowing. Allow that natural rhythm to return. And then come and bring the hands onto the hips and look down at the feet. Looking down at the feet, see the feet grounding. Lift the toes up now as you press the balls of the feet down, the heels down. And then slowly bring the toes down on toward the floor, spreading them wide. Feel that base really firm and supported. Now find a spot out in front and begin to shift a bit of weight now onto the left foot and raise the right heel up. So you're on the right toes with weight into the left foot. And slowly now bring the right knee in toward the chest. So the spot on the floor you're focused on and holding here. Grounding that left foot down on toward the earth and avoiding the hip moving out to the side. All right. So we're going to find tree pose here. Open the hip out and bring the sole of the foot to the inner thigh. And if that's not working for you today, you can use the calf or even keep the right toes to the floor with the hip open and the heel resting into the ankle. So finding the variation that works for you now of tree pose without the left hip moving out to the side. Really anchor the hip, knee and ankle in line. And if you're wanting to add here, raise the arms out to the sides and bring the first finger and thumb together, reaching the fingers out and up. And feel yourself grounding here, growing roots through the foot, channeling the light in the hands like branches of a tree. Now bring the hands up overhead, palms together and down in toward the heart space. And bring the right knee in toward the chest, really slowly here. As you exhale, bring the hands and the foot down to the floor. And you might like to shake out that other foot, noticing how that's feeling and changing, having built that strength and stability. Hands to the hips, look to the feet, spread the toes, ground the toes down, and then shift weight to the right side. Lift the left heel up, find the spot out in front. This is called a dristi or focal point. Can stay here or bring the knee up in toward the chest without the hip moving out to the side. So notice if you're feeling wobbly, you might like to smile and have a little bit of fun here. It doesn't need to be very serious. Good. All right, we'll find the tree on the other side now. So foot can come onto the calf, toes to the floor, or with that hip open, the foot into the inner thigh. And you'll really want to try to press the inner thigh into the foot to avoid the hip moving out to the side. Remember, razor sharp focus, roots growing through the right foot now. And if you want to, raise the arms out to the sides. Index finger and thumb together. The other fingers lifting up toward the sky. If you want to challenge your balance, you can look up or even close your eyes. It is really challenging though. If you're wanting to give that a go, feel free, but just take care not to fall. And if you do fall out, have a little giggle. Keep breathing here, lifting the chest, drawing the navel in, strengthening the legs and finding the grounding in both the body and emotions. Hands up overhead, palms together. Draw the hands down in toward the heart. Release and bring the left knee in toward the chest and slowly bring the hands and the foot down at the same time. Really good job. Nice. Good. Okay, come into the middle of your yoga mat and you might like to now bring the chair into the top of the mat. So just bring that for a little later toward the top of the mat and standing in the middle of your yoga mat. Spread the feet wide, about as wide as the mat. And inhale, raise the arms. As you exhale, bend the knees and sit the buttocks down and coming into your squat again. Just for a moment, we're going to use this to transition. Hands down onto the floor, lean forward and take the feet back and the knees down onto the floor. Turn the toes under now, and then you might even need to lean back and help the pinky toes turn under. And bring the hands onto the floor out in front. So your toes are turning under here. And it's really common that they're very tight. So be really gentle with yourself with this particular shape. We are going to hold this toe curl. If you're feeling really tight and this is enough for you, you may even like to spread a little bit of weight into the head, lean forward, stack the fists or the hands, or even bring the hands out in front. If you're feeling like you'd like to stay here, please do so. Otherwise, you may now choose to walk the hands back, bring the hands onto the thighs, and lean a little more weight into the heels. Now, this could be really uncomfortable for you, and it's going to be commonly uncomfortable. If it's so uncomfortable for you that it's not something you can sustain, I encourage you to find an alternative that works for you. My preference is to fold forward. So finding your way now with this toe curl. We will stay here for another few moments. So this is our first yin shape. And in yin yoga, we're encouraging the body to soften the superficial parts of the body, the muscles, to soften and relax, so that in time and space, the fascia, a connective tissue, can benefit from the practice, this deep stretch. Remember, you're never locked in. Please know you can change at any time. But your breath is an ally here. With every exhale, can you encourage that sense of release and relax? And allow without needing to push. You may even like to encourage a long, slow exhale here. Our feet often bound into shoes are our antennas for the element of earth. They've been specifically designed for us to walk this earth upon, with nerve endings at the bottom of the feet. They can perceive our environment and they can connect energetically to the earth's energy. And that is our grounding. So this is our source of grounding here in our feet, and they're so commonly tight. It's a really important part of our body to connect into that's often neglected. We're going to spend another few breaths here in the shape. Remember, you can change your position if you needed to. The magic will occur if you are able to remain still, which is why it's important to just find a minimal degree of discomfort rather than a serious degree of discomfort. All right, we're going to begin to move in a moment, taking last 3 breaths here, slowing the breath out. Long, slow breath out. Notice how sensation changes. Really good. All right, we're going to begin to move. So hands onto the floor if you're leaning forward, and walk the hands out. Bring the hands back. Now begin to lengthen the legs and bring the soles of the feet onto the floor. Walk the feet to the hands, come to the middle of the mat, and feel again those antennas grounding down. Bend the knees as much as you need to here in your forward fold. And if you like, you can come up to a halfway lift as you inhale, then bend the knees, exhale, forward folding a little more. All right, so this is our second yin shape, and I'll encourage you to find some props that are going to work for you to hold this for 3 minutes. You could bring blocks onto the floor on the high edge and rest elbows. You could rest your hands on these, or you can bring your chair forward and rest your elbows on the chair and even the head. So I would like you to get curious now with this particular shape. It's a little bit challenging to remain here without a prop for 3 odd minutes. Now you're completely welcome to bend the knees as much as you need, finding the prop, and when you're ready, try to remain still here with the feet grounding down, sit bones lifting up, and the head relaxing down. Remember, you can rest the head on the chair if you need it. Otherwise, the head acts as traction to lengthen the spine. And in Yin Yoga, we call this shape dangle. So think about dangling that torso, arms, head, as much as possible for you as it cascades down over the legs. This is a tricky shape to hold. I really get it. I know this one's hard. Keep pressing the feet, they're grounding down. And it's the back line of the fascia that we're working with here. So as the muscles relax, the whole back line of the fascia can then relax. and become more fluid. And in yoga, we see the body as whole. So the back line fascia is one long big sheet connecting the feet to the back of the legs and the back of the body and the back of the head, and where there may be parts of the fascia or parts of the body in the back line of the fascia that are feeling stuck. Maybe there's some trauma, and maybe there's just some tightness that can affect other parts of the body, and it's through the practice here that we remain still and allow that softening to occur to potentially benefit the whole body. Relax the neck, relax the head. You may observe there's a shaking sensation, a deep intensity. This is probably fairly new for the body, this deep stretch. You're doing really, really well. And we're going to do a last 3 breaths here in the shape. Slow the breath out if you can. And breathe into the back of the legs, the back. Good. And begin to separate the feet. Take them a little wider. And bring the buttocks down as you bend the knees. Buttocks to the floor. And feet out in front. Just moving the props away now, so that you can come and lay down on your back. So take it really slowly, please, so that you can find your way down to rest onto the floor, supported by the earth. And let the feet fall out to the sides, arms away from the body, and notice the back. Finding some more stability now. But notice the energy that's running through the back of the body, through the feet, back of the legs, into the lower back and the middle back, back of the head. Feel that warmth. Relax the body and notice the body supported by the earth. The more you relax, this is a rebound shape. Allowing that restabilization and that moment of observing the incredible shifts that can occur in the body in stillness. Oh, bring the knees now in toward the chest. Give them a little squeeze if you want to, or rock from side to side. And now take the arms out to the sides, bend the elbows, form the cactus shape with the arms and the palms facing up. And we're back to where we started. So knees and the ankles together. Inhale at center here. And then when you exhale, take both knees out to the right side. And inhale, come back to center. Exhale, knees out to the left side and go all the way down to the floor. All right, so if you need to, you could bring a block underneath the left knee. You could shuffle the hips back in to the center, or you can keep the hips out to the left. So a few options there depending on how it's feeling for your body. And you may have noticed here that the back of the right shoulder may have come up, and that's okay. Try to ground it toward the floor, and as you exhale, maybe take the gaze over toward that right side, adding the neck into this rotation of the spine. And if you're wanting to change anything now, please know that this is a great time for you to look into the body and see what it needs. Be curious and honor anything that it is it needs. You might like to bring the left hand to rest on top of the right, or even lengthen the right leg out. Find a variation here that worked better for you. With each exhale, again, encourage the body to relax, release. Oh, feel the stretch in the abdomen, the gentle massage of your abdominal muscles. And we're working here with predominantly the ascending colon, getting a squeeze. Yeah. Digestive organs responsible for assimilating the food you eat into nutrients for the cells and the tissues, the organs. And then that release, that detoxification of waste and elimination. So quite often that detoxification process needs a little help. So the twist here is encouraging that elimination function in the digestion to allow that release, flushing out of waste. All right, we'll begin to move again. So if you've taken any adjustments, you might like to bring your head back to center, stack the knees and the ankles. And as you exhale, press the left knee into the right, come back to center and just settle in at center here. You might do a little few rocks from side to side, get your pelvis back to neutral. And when you're ready, take the knees on the exhale out to the right side now. So settling the knees down onto something, either the floor or bring the block with you. And find a variation here that works for you. Remember that could be completely different to the other side. You can have the right hand on the left knee. Extend the left leg. You can look over the left shoulder. Anything extra here that feels good for you is good. So know that now is the time to change whatever that is for you. With every exhale, encourage the relax. Notice if you're holding on to anything. And letting go with the breath out. Last few breaths here now, letting go of anything else. So while that function of elimination in digestion is a physical manifestation of detoxification in the body, it's true too of the energy body, that we release any energy that we don't need down and out through the base of the torso, the base of the spine. And through the twist, we're encouraging both the physical and the energetic release. We'll begin to release, so bring the knees and ankles to stack. As you exhale, press the right knee into the left, come back to center, and maybe give yourself another little hug. Head in toward the knees if you wanted, and then slowly release the head down. You've come to the end of the practice. So if you need a layer on your body, please take the time to find that. Feet to the floor or legs long now. If you had a bolster, you might like to bring that underneath the knees. Separate the legs, let the toes fall out and away from each other. Arms away from the body with the palms facing up. Notice how the fingers curl in very slightly. And relax the body. Relax the body and feel the back of the body supported by the earth. With every exhale, encourage that additional support And feel the body heavy as a ton of bricks bearing down toward the earth, melting. Feel the heels being pulled down to the center of the earth. Feel the back of the thighs being pulled down into the center of the earth. Feel the back being pulled down. Feel the back of the head pulled down to the center of the earth. Back of the hands being pulled in to the center of the earth. Feel all parts of the back of the body, growing roots down into the earth, through the floor and the soil, out wide and down deep. And feel the body really supported, anchored and grounded in. Notice the nourishment that you receive from the earth and bring that in through the roots into the body. Feel it growing into light as the body is filled with light now from the nourishment of being grounded into the earth, and relax in the awareness of the support and nourishment from the earth. And there's nothing to do, and there's nowhere to go. In these moments, allow yourself a deep relax as you connect into something deeper within. And if you have the luxury of time, I recommend you stay here for another at least 5 minutes or longer. Thank you for your practice. Namaste.